Hey there, everybody. Gwen said hello. Melee said hello. And Gwen says hello to Melee. So when Megan comes on, I'm probably not going to read the chat unless there's super chats coming in until like after she heads out. And so much for the cord here. I guess we'll just have to see it on the bottom of this camera feed there. I'm doing a little bit different. I got the headphones on so I can hear when she joins in. But let's go ahead and get started anyway. We're going to run for about 2 hours until... There we go. So I keep snagging on the back of the chair. I'm going to run for about 2 hours or so, maybe a bit more. Might actually try and get this one done today. It just depends on how much energy I've got. So we're going to go in through 4 and 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Also, when Megan joins, I'll probably stop doing the counting thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. And something's snagging there. And here needs a little bit of a tie down. Looks like it's got a loose thread. Let's just make sure that all the loose bits are on the right side of the knot to tie off on. There we go. The hope is that I will get the braid done today. I've got stuff ready to go if I do get to that point. Got a bobbin pre-wound with the thread, and I have the needles on hand. Ooh, that's a bit bright. Oops. That one wasn't quite closed. There we go. All right, so in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Megan might join anywhere between noon and 2, depending on her schedule. All right, in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. I'm really looking forward to this. I've enjoyed her journalism work ever since I became aware of it when she first popped up on one of the Nick streams several years ago. All right, in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Got to remember to go up to the top. And in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. Right. Which one's giving me the problem? It's not a top row. Ah. Is that it? Nope. For some reason, my wrist is itching. Oh well. And answered that one. And Gwen says, I'm glad she's taking some time to visit today. Yeah, she was really wanted to drop off from what I could tell while I was doing the braids. So that's very nice of her. I appreciate that. All right, so left side now. In through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. I also really was happy that she was fine with me doing a particular braid because I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed doing it. All right, and right side, this is the weird one. In through 2, 1 and 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the bottom. To the top. And in through 2 and 1 and 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. There we go. I'm just going to take off the watch. I was doing okay until I put it on this morning. All right, and left side in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reason I got to use the wired one is apparently for some reason my Bluetooth does not like keeping a audio connection going on this computer, and I just haven't had the time to troubleshoot it yet. Hopefully that'll resolve it a little bit better. And Melee says, what you do is beautiful art. Thank you for that, Melee. That's very kind of you. All right. Looks like we got 2 on Twitter, 3 on YouTube. I know this is a bit earlier than normal, but I wanted to make sure that I could fit in Megan's schedule. Okay, so we've done 4 of these. Let me go ahead and move the gap here so it's a little easier. Or we've done 3 of these. Move the gap so it's easier to count. All right. In through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I keep forgetting to bring up a tape measure to measure how long this gets. And in through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I've been joining the edges. Okay, good. And left side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to switch sides on this, see if that helps. Okay. And in through 4, 1, 2. In through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. Yeah, that looks good. I've been doing it right. I know it's the wrong news, but maybe that'll help. And Gwen says, I think we've only seen a small portion of what 23 is capable of accomplish. Thank you for that. I'm actually hoping that once I get my ADHD stuff worked out, that I'll be able to do a lot more. In through 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nope, I moved that one on top. That explains that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. There we go. And left side. We jump to 8 on this one. And 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. And into 8, 1, 2, 3 on the top. And I think we're ready for a coma slide. And Gwen says, please hit the like button, folks. Thank you very much for the reminder, Gwen. All right, in through 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4. To here. Yeah, in through 8, 1, 2, 3 on the top. And through 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the bottom. And through 8, 1, 2, 3 on the top. Go. Yep. That looks right. Good. Okay. And through 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check something's good. And through 8, 1, 2, 3 on top. I think whatever I was snagging was one of the leader knots. And in through 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. Here. Hey, I think I hear somebody here. Let's go ahead and hey there.
Hi. Oh, you can't see me. Let me move myself to the other side of the screen and then you can. Hello.
Hello. It's good to have you on here.
It's good to see you.
So I am going to try and get this done today, so don't worry about dropping out whenever you need to. But
I thought I would build some Legos while we're doing this.
I appreciate that. I take it
my daughter got me a 3-in-1. It's really cool. It's like a little radio and a record player and a microphone. I thought I would build the microphone.
Okay. I take it the overhead camera boom finally worked out?
Actually, not yet, because I don't have the right kind of tripod for it.
Okay, I was thinking two things about that. The tripod I'm using for my overhead one was designed for like the old style camcorders, so it's extra heavy duty. And I was thinking of redesigning that so it could be made out of like PVC, so it's nice and light. And I might go ahead and make one of those and send it to you as well.
Oh, that's awfully sweet. Yeah, the problem is, well, for one, the space. I have a really small space, and so the arm is quite long. It's although I could chop it. It's not like I couldn't cut it. I could. But because it's so long, it's heavy, and my only tripod is really small. It's like, well, my second tripod. My first my big one is got my face camera on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have limited space, and I have not the right thing.
Okay.
How you doing, chat? What's up?
Got a few people in here on mine. Mainly, Gwen is my mod, and Melee is also one of the regulars on a lot of the LawTube chat. So it's good to have her on here.
Well, I need to share this out. I haven't done that yet. Let me do that.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not losing my count, because when I talk to people, I tend to lose a little bit of track on the numbers, but it's something that I need to work on, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, I know where I am at. It also helps that I've got like built-in things where if I do it wrong, things look wrong on my end, so that helps a lot.
I always have a hard time finding your channel. I don't know why. What am I spelling wrong?
It should be just at TORIN and the number 3.
Oh, that's why.
But I do want to thank you for letting me pick this braid for you because I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed doing it. It's been like 20 years since the last time I did this particular design.
It's really cool. The design is so cool. All right, let's see.
So did you want to like ask questions or just have me share funny stories or stuff like that while we're doing this?
I want to know how you got into this.
I'm part of a medieval recreation society. Got started back in the 60s by a bunch of hippies that were protesting the modern age. But I like history, so it's been fun. I've been in it since like 1984. And they got a really big event in Western PA called the Penzic War. And I joined a group that had members all over the country, or a subgroup of it, where they focused on Mongolian history. And so I came out to this event for the first time, flew across country, trusting on people to like pick me up at the airport. That was kind of fun. But when I was out there, a friend of mine that I'd known through the group but hadn't actually met in person said, "Hey, I think you'll like this." Handed me a round disc cut out of the side of a 12-pack of Coca-Cola and some skeins of DMC cotton embroidery floss, and taught me how to do like one of those simple friendship braids. This was back in like 1998. And after that, I kind of went into it whole hog, learned all the different stands that you can do the different braids on.
You don't mean like the little friendship braids we used to make in grade school, do you? The little knotted ones? Like, well, I guess they're not knotted. They are sort of woven. We used to make those in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s.
I don't think it's the exact same style, but when you get friendship braid kits today, it's basically a basic Kumihimo starter disc made out of foam. So I figured that was what people would know the most. But then I, picked up a book, and then there's like a round wood disc that's about like 12 inches across with a hole in the center. And then you use the weights for that. And I got one of those. And then you couldn't really buy these, like the stand I'm using now. So I made my first one. It was kind of okay, but the designs I got were basically designed for like, 120-pound, 5'2" Japanese women. And I'm a bit bigger than that. So it wound up being a little bit harder for me to get in there because I kept bumping my elbows against the frame. So I made a larger one, which is this one here. And I noticed
you made it.
Oh, yeah. I did all the woodwork.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did buy these, but I can make these easily now. But
you are very talented with your skills of making things. I can tell.
Thank you.
You must spend a lot of time doing projects.
Not nearly as much as I would like. I about a little over a year ago got diagnosed with ADHD, and I figured out why I've been having a problem getting.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Isn't it life changing to just discover that your executive function doesn't work properly, because you can finally answer the question, what's wrong with me? Why do I walk around in circles? Well, why can't I get focused on anything? It's a terrible thing.
Yeah,
and yet at times it's also kind of the greatest thing. It's strange.
I can hyper focus for like about 6 months on just about anything, but after that, it's really hard. This is about the only thing I've been able to do for like 25 years and still keep it going pretty strong. But I figured I really needed to, get to work on it, because I wanted to like make more of these braiding stands, because the only other place in the U.S. that makes these is, when I started to plan on doing this, we had like a 2-year backlog, and the gentleman who was making them was like in his 80s. So I figured if I want to keep this like art form available to people in the U.S. where they're not like craftily inclined to make their own stuff, that I need to do something like this. So that was kind of what I decided I wanted to do. And Nick was the one who got me into figuring out that I could like, teach people how to do it on YouTube. When I was listening to one of his streams, and he was saying, Nick Ricada, not Nick Starro, that the hardest part in YouTube is getting your first 100 subscribers, and my channel is like super old, but I never really did anything with it. And at that time, I realized I had over like 240 subscribers. And it's like, wow, I've already done the hard part, not even known it. So let's get started with this.
Yeah, Nick did a lot for inspiring people to start channels and do stuff online, didn't he?
Yep. He's also the one who made me realize I also have narcolepsy.
No way.
Yep. It's not officially diagnosed as narcolepsy. They've diagnosed as either hypersomnia or excessive daytime sleepiness due to sleep apnea. But
interesting.
So I got started on modafinil, which really helped a lot until I realized that it was neutralizing my anti-migraine meds, which was kind of counterproductive. And then when this weird weakness thing I've got going on started up, I found out that apparently the ADHD meds and the anti-narcolepsy meds both make me a lot weaker. So I'm dealing without them right now, but I'm seeing doctors. So hopefully something will get resolved soon. But that's the thing I mentioned about having to deal with not having a doctor house available, because I've had this going on for a year and nobody has any idea what's causing it.
Gosh.
But the only thing we know is that enough prednisone over a long enough period of time makes it go away for a bit.
Oh no. And that prednisone, though, you stay on that long enough and your bones will start disintegrating.
Yeah,
that happened to my mom.
Yep. Fortunately, it seems to only take like about a week and a half on it, and then I was good for like almost 3 months. So,
oh wow!
And I'm getting in to see a specialist in September, so hopefully they'll be able to figure out what the heck's going on. But it's not something I have to stay on continually.
Well, that's good, because it can shut your adrenals down, which is what happened to my mom. She can't get off it now. She can't be off of it, and it sucks. But anyway, so do you do the medieval? Do you go to like the Ren fairs and stuff?
The group I'm in, it's more of a environment for the participants, even though it covers like over 1,000 years of history. But it's not really done. I mean, they do demos for the public. But mostly what I've been doing lately is I'm on the staff for that big event now. My wife and I run the quartermaster department, so we run into the nearby towns to pick up all the stuff the staff needs to run the events, or the event while we're out there. And it's like a 2-week event that gets like somewhere between 10 and 14,000 people showing up. So
wow.
And
my those wife are mostly the people who do recreations and things like you do?
Yeah, I've done fun things like we've smelted iron using year 1000 technology and like magnetite sand. And I learned this there. And the main thing is you kind of want to make sure that when you're dressed in your medieval garb, you don't look like an explosion in a time machine. Because sometimes it's easy. It's like you're camping and like, okay, I haven't been able to hit the laundry lately, and this is what I've got clean. And I don't think it works well together. I'm like 8 centuries apart from my oldest to my newest time frames. But it's a fun thing. I like a lot of the people I've met there. So it's a nice thing.
I think that those there's a place here in New York. It's called, is it Geneseo? Geneseo, I think. There's like a Geneseo museum, but it's like not really a museum. It's a town. It's an entire town, and what they do, it's all pioneer technology, etc. So there's a weaving machine there, a big one, and they have artisans. You can go and take the kids. It's a big thing for field trips. You can go and take the kids, and they have like same thing. Like there'll be a blacksmith, and it's an entire town. It is so cool. And there's a weaving room and a quilting room, and they do all of these demonstrations, and it's all period costumes. There's even almost like a survivor thing that they do, and there's like a 3-year waiting list to get on it. But if you get chosen, you get to go and live like basically at Geneseo. You get to go and live there for a certain amount of time, but you can't have any, you have to live exactly like the pioneers did. You know, you can't have anything, including, you know, clothes. And it looks so fun.
Yep, full immersion. I don't think I'd be quite up for that. I'm a little bit too addicted to my technology, but because I've done things like I built a CNC router from like an open source design system, and my day job is I'm actually a CNC machinist and programmer, so it really fits in well with stuff I do. And it's like a lot of the woodworking stuff. It's like, well, I can do that as a CNC thing, and so that's where I've been doing a lot of this. I designed a stand to be able to like take spools of thread and like bundle these up a lot easier than like having to buy it as DMC floss bundles. It gives me a lot more flexibility. I started importing the silk I use from Japan. So, well, not so much importing as buying it, obviously. But
that braid you are doing is so cool. I love the design, the way it looks like twisty. It's amazing. I'm glad I let you choose it because I didn't know where to start. I was like, gosh, I like them all. Yep. They're so cool. I wouldn't even know which one to pick. I always trust the artist. You know what colors you're working with, so you probably know which one to choose. And I couldn't be happier with it. It's really cool.
Yep, I think it'll go well with your theme. I actually have been noticing that a lot of the streamers I've made braids for have started, incorporating it in their sets. I've seen it on Nick's. I'm
totally gonna hang it up. Are you kidding? It's probably gonna go right there.
Yeah, that lets me know that I've done the right thing.
It's beautiful. I mean, that takes so much time and effort. It's amazing to me that you can do it. Equality, what's up? Nice to see ya.
Hey, Equality. Yeah, I haven't been keeping a close eye on the chat. I'm trying not to like lose my place and mess up your braid. So there we go.
We definitely don't want that.
Yep. And I did let my chat know ahead of time that that's what I was going to do. I'll catch up at the end. I'll read through it.
Gosh darn it. Like this piece came loose. And it took me so long to get it in there. Okay, now it's back. How the heck am I supposed... Oh, this goes here. Okay. I was trying to put it on the back side.
I do have to say, I did do the bonsai Lego on one of my streams. And I have to agree with you. It is the most confusing Lego instructions I've ever seen printed out.
Oh, the bonsai. Isn't it terrible? It's right here. I have it right here. And it's terrible. Now it's falling apart, by the way. One of the flowers fell off just the other day. So, and I don't know where it goes. So I just left it on the ground here. But the instructions are horrific for the bonsai. And it doesn't help if you're going to have a Lego piece, which almost all the pieces are the same damn color. You better be explicit with the instructions. The instructions better be good. I am currently working on, well, besides this one that I just opened, downstairs I have a big one going. I have the miniature Diagon Alley, and the scale of it is so small. I got it for Mother's Day. The scale is so small. I thought it was going to be so fun, and it's just an exercise in frustration because the scale of it is half the size of a regular Lego, basically. I mean, they're the same Legos, but they've scaled it down. So each piece is only like 2 or 3 Legos, made of 2 or 3 Legos, tiny, tiny little tables, tiny, tiny little things. And my hands are just not small enough. Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
This is one of the micro Lego ones. And
so it's not, so it's kind of like that, like super small, but the pieces are still the same size. It's just that it's a lot more of the smaller ones, and then it's like, it wouldn't be, okay, so here's my Lego tug. Let me show it here's my Lego tug. Okay. So this Lego tug would look like a giant in front of the Diagon Alley that I'm working on. Like it's a smaller scale than even this. So it's just frustrating. I love Lego Tug, by the way. It's so funny. I made this. I'll have to show you guys maybe I'll bring it up here to work on at some point in the future because it's got a lot of pieces. I'm not going to be done with it for a while.
So if I do wind up doing the PVC one, I'll make it a lot shorter. I did mine because I've got to kind of like go over like 3 feet, and I wanted to counterbalance it since I'm using a relatively heavy camera on it. So, but
Thank you, Melly. Yes, Lego tug is awesome. Much like regular tug. Regular tug is also awesome, but I like my Lego tug. It's funny.
just double check, make sure I haven't made a copy. Yep, they're looking good. Okay. So yeah, my idea for my channel, and I need to like do a lot more work on it, is I want to like do arts and crafty type things and teach people how to do it. Like some, 3D printing, CNC machining, the stuff that you can do, in your garage if you want to. And I just need to like spend a little bit more time and make some improvements on the channel, like make some bumpers and get some audio bits and stuff like that. It's trying to deal with the executive function issues.
Tell me about it. It's especially difficult when your medicine, you can't be on the medicine. I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I didn't even take mine today. So unmedicated.
Yep. It was not so fun the first time I saw a doctor to see me for the, because my original primary care practice after the diagnosis started me on Adderall, and that's the one I can't take anymore. So I went to see a specialty practice. Like, these are the issues I want to deal with. So I saw they said, do you want to do medication therapy or talk therapy? I said, let's do both, whatever it takes to get me to where I need to go. Mm-hmm. And when I went and saw the one for medication management, he spent half the time telling me that what I was taking, combined with my anti-narcolepsy med, weren't supposed to be prescribed together. It's absolutely horrible. It's not the standard of care. And then at the end of it, he was telling me he wasn't going to deal with me, that I don't have attention deficit, and 99 out of 100 psychiatrists would agree with him. And it's like, wow. So the next one I saw was a whole lot better.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I find dealing with the medical system is quite difficult. Let's just put it that way. It's difficult.
My older sister is actually a pharmacist, and she's the one who figured out that my original narcolepsy meds and the migraine meds neutralized each other. And she's also got diagnosed with attention deficit about a year before me. And she had a really hard time with it too, because the first doctor she saw said, well, you can't have it. You were successful in school.
They always say that. It's like, you don't get it. You don't get it at all.
Yeah. My sister said, when you have it and you're smart, the extra intelligence is like extra gas in the tank where you can use it to mask the fact that your engine's broken.
Right.
So...
What's funny is that my mother kept all of my my report cards from elementary all the way through high school. And on them, there were notes, from teachers. And that's what I used to take to the doctor. And I was like, this might be helpful for you to see what my problem is, because I couldn't get diagnosed when I was a kid because there was no, nobody knew. It was just they would say learning disabilities. They would say just generalized, learning disabled or something. But all my teachers said the same thing. Megan is extremely disorganized. She's smart, but she doesn't apply herself. If she applied herself, she would get A's. Now, I actually didn't do well in school. I struggled. But every teacher made the same comments. Megan's extremely bright, but she's not organized. She never turns in her homework. She can't even find her homework. If she turned in her homework, she would have good grades. No one ever bothered to be like, why is she so disorganized? Can we help her get more organized? It was basically just like, you're not organized, so you don't do well. Sorry, but we're not going to help you at all. So when I showed the doctor the notes from the teachers, it was so funny. He was like, oh yeah, this is classic. I'm like, well, yeah, but who knew? Who knew back then? Nobody.
My report cards were full of Torin is extremely intelligent. If he would just apply himself, he would do wonderfully in school.
That's exactly what mine said. I have all these notes, and they all say the same thing for years and years and years. So but back then there's just no help. It's just like, well, I guess she's just not going to apply herself, so she's shit out of luck.
Yep, I grew up kind of poor in Idaho and Montana in the late 70s and early 80s, and it wasn't something they thought about. So
yeah.
But I'm hoping to get a lot more stuff done in the not too distant future once I can get things a little bit better managed, and hopefully they can figure out how to keep me from getting to where like I can't like stand up out of chairs. So, but I'm like, today's my last day on the high dose of prednisone. I start to taper down tomorrow, so I'm not doing too bad today. And the last time before I accidentally found out that my narcolepsy med is a problem, I was like 4 days out of being off of it. I was doing so much better. I got a dynamometer to check my grip strength, and at the low end, I was like 12 to 15 pounds grip strength, and then I was up to like almost 32 within like 4 days. So I'm hoping once I finish this run, then I'll go back to that, and I'll not make the mistake of taking the other meds without it. So I'm hopeful.
Well, I hope it works out.
Yep.
Medication problems are sure. So what are you working on, or what are you watching these days? Are you watching any trials or anything, or what do you watch on YouTube?
I did watch the first Karen Reed trial, and I'm kind of following some of the recaps, but I am enough emotionally invested in the case that I have a hard time watching it.
I feel the same way. I've been doing the same thing because I watched the first trial too. And this one, it's like, I was actually, right before we got on, I was catching up on one of Nick's coverage streams that I missed. And it's maddening. It's maddening.
Yeah, I used to be a proponent of the death penalty until I started watching all these trials, and it's like, you know what?
Right.
Well, I still believe it with it in the concept. I don't trust any of these idiots I've been watching in courts to be the ones.
Me too. Me too. And that's what makes it so difficult, because the concept of the death penalty, as far as justice goes, makes sense. If you heinously murder someone, you should be heinously murdered, period. But you're right, because of the amount of corruption and mistakes that the state makes, it's unacceptable to give them that kind of power. It's just unacceptable to let them do it. So I agree with you. I struggle with it, because there are times when you see these heinous crimes and you think, oh yeah, wood chipper, get the wood chipper, but you can't trust the state to always get it right. And that means innocent people are going to get put to death.
Yeah.
And have been put to death over many years.
I also watch a lot of you and Tug covering Bachelor and Hales and stuff like that.
Yeah, those have been some crazy cases.
Yep. I was actually kind of prepared that you might not be wanting to stream today, so I'm really glad that you were able to, because I caught Tug's Friday night stream, and I'm just thinking bastages.
Yeah, it's not good. But look, here's the thing. It isn't the first time that I've encountered people like this who will do anything to silence you because you're pointing out or exposing something illegal that's going on. We're talking about criminals here.
Yep.
So it is not unusual that criminals will then target you, dox your home, and try to intimidate you and shut you up. That's not the first time it's happened to me. Now, admittedly, it's been 10 years. I had a good 10 years where no one had tried to do it like this. But I think you should all take heart in the fact that Richard Luthman is a criminal, and he has gone to jail for what he's doing to me right now for 4 years, and he will go to jail for it again. So this is not even, to me, it's like, well, He's just sealing his fate. If he wants to keep it up, and unbelievably, this guy who was in jail for 4 years for doing the same exact things he's doing to me, he did that in New York, and he went to jail in New York. And now what is he doing? He's doing it again to someone in New York. I don't think he's thought this through. I don't think he's thought it through. That's unfortunate for him, but it is what it is. So when the New York prosecutors get a handle on it, I'm sure that they'll be happy to lock him up again.
Okay.
He's a repeat offender, and he's continuing to offend. And I don't think they're going to look at that very kindly. Let's put it that way.
Well, I think when I first started contacting you on X or Twitter or Twix, I think one of my first comments was that I've always respected the journalism I've seen you do, because I think that type of journalism needs to exist, and point out when people are doing things that isn't just like something you could fit in an evening news soundbite.
Right. So, it is hard because it's difficult to then explain. Once when you're in a case like this that's been ongoing for over a year, it's difficult to explain to people coming into it what happened or what this is about. And because there's so much that's gone on. So it's not like you can do a TLDR in 15 minutes. You can't. There's too much. However, I think what we learned with the Laura Owens cases, we stuck with it long enough that we saw justice. She's now been criminally charged, 7 felonies. She's going to trial. And I have every faith that that's what's going to happen in the Hales case as well. There will be criminal charges. And it will not be against Jeremy Hales, and it won't be against me because I haven't broken the law, and neither has he. But we have uncovered a harasser for hire scandal. That's what we've uncovered. We've uncovered a cabal of people who are making money, advertising that they're taking money to cyber harass and stalk and intimidate anybody, a target.
Yeah. And
I think that that's going to come out. It's going to come out eventually, and it will. Like, somebody sent me this really nice email this weekend, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name at the moment, but it was so kind. And she said, "I've watched you cover stories that nobody else would touch, and eventually the truth bubbled up to the surface and got national attention." And it's happened multiple times, and that's true. She's right, and it's going to happen again with this case. I don't doubt it.
Yeah. And one of the other other stuff I've been watching, I tend to catch a lot of like Reddit story stuff, just kind of as time filler for me. Stuff like r/, which is a nice time waster, but I find that a lot of them, when I dropped a lot of channels I did, because they read stories and then they never have like a finish to it, because they're just reading Reddit stuff that doesn't always have a conclusion. It's like just my narrative appreciation gets to the point where it's like I don't like it when stories don't end or don't have a conclusion. So
I also don't like it when people don't follow up on stories. Like, the media does that all the time. They don't follow up. For instance, this is a great example. So this new person who's entered the Hales case for attention, and or maybe she's part of the paid harassment team, I'm not sure. But this Leslie person who's entered in the fray now and wants some attention, she was in the news years ago for freeing certain people from guardianships, and she got a lot of good press because she was a lawyer. She's not a lawyer anymore, but she was. She got a lot of good press for doing these 6 or 8, I don't know how many cases, where people got freed from guardianship. One of them in particular, his last name was Keenan. He was very sick. He was he had severe brain damage. And she insisted, along with her team of people, that he was perfectly fine. And the judge eventually agreed. And for whatever reason, allowed this man to be free. Well, the guardian in the case said he's going to be a danger to himself or others within a week when he gets out. And that's very upsetting. And sure enough, a week, maybe 2 after he got out, he sent a horrific death threat to the judge in the case and the guardian, and he was put in jail for a year. Now, not one news organization who covered her getting him out of the guardianship covered what happened afterwards. Not one. There isn't one article about Keenan's that I could find about his death threats and getting thrown in jail. So that to me is malfeasance on the part of the media.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when it was like that fast of a turnaround. I did catch it when you went over that.
Yeah, it was bad, real bad, and sad, really sad. Because if a person, now I've studied some of these guardian cases, and it's true that there have been cases where there's immense corruption. You can watch the documentary called The Guardians on Amazon that will show you some horrific cases. That doesn't mean that every single case of guardianship is corrupt or unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it turned out that the guardianship was necessary, and the state really failed that man, and everybody around him failed him.
Yeah. Looks like we got a super chat from Slug Entertainment. And Slug said, please stop being so short. It's curable.
No, it isn't.
Well, technically it is, but I don't think anyone wants to go through torture for that.
Yeah, the breaking of the bones. Oh my God, am I missing a piece? Oh, Lego, I hate you recently. If I'm missing this piece, this will be the second piece in 2 sets that I've done recently that did not come with it.
That sucks.
Oh, this is going to derail my entire thing.
Oh, speaking of Lego stuff, I thought it was really nice that I was able to get on the Lego Life and Libations thing after you were on there. That was fun being on there. And I've known Valhalla a little bit on and off over the years, so
he's a good dude.
Yeah. But I think I still have the record for the longest time on stream with them working on Legos. I did the Himeji Castle, all of it. I didn't do any pre-building, so.
I was so worried on that stream I went on that I was going to be the one who did it the longest. I was so worried. But apparently, Good Logic was worse than I was. It took him 6 hours, and I was building that stupid bonsai.
Yep.
Boy, did I pick the wrong thing to do a Lego stream on. That bonsai was tough.
Yeah, I think the Himeji Castle is like 3,000 or 4,000 pieces, and it took me like 11 and a half hours over 2 streams to finish it.
Wow. I did Dungeons and Dragons Castle, which was, I think, over 3,000 pieces. It was so much fun, though. It was a really good build.
Okay. Something else I was thinking Lego related I was going to mention. It's wandered out of my brain. It'll come back.
That happens.
Yep. I also like watching technical YouTube channels. I know I'm jumping back to your question.
That's okay. I love to hear about what people watch on YouTube. Actually, I'm always interested in that.
Yeah. I'm actually, since I started the stream, I'm about 1.5 leaves done already. So I'm making good progress even without my usual counting. Oh, now I remember one of the things I was going to ask you. I did promise you 2 braids. One of the others is going to be like a fully custom design for, like I've done for most of the other YouTube streamers. This one was more of a screw you BBB for being such an asshole. I'm going to be like.
I was thinking about it last night about these people who insert themselves into a case I'm working on. Bruce did that too. I mean, he nobody invited him. I start covering a case, right? Larry's covering it. We're watching this crazy judge doing all these bad things, which the appellate court agreed with us. He did.
Yep.
And I'm not bothering anybody. I was barely even talking about the Preston and Cook at that point. We were just talking about this judge and how awful it was.
Yep.
I don't think that Bruce understands that by what he did, entering into the case and starting a vendetta against us for covering this case, a case that we would have covered it for anything. Like there's no, it's always, oh, Jeremy did this, Jeremy did that. Jeremy did nothing. I was interested in it because one of my people, two of my people who watch me, asked me to look into it. So I started to do that for the chat. And then I got interested in it. My God, I don't think he realizes that when he entered the case, all of everything that's happened since then has been us defending our coverage of this case.
Yep.
That's it. It's just that we have defended that we have a right to cover this case, while he has been threatening us with lawsuits from the very beginning and then sued Larry. I mean, this is the other thing. It's like, you come in here. Nobody asked you to be here. You could have taken her case and just been a decent, upstanding lawyer and done like what Sean did. You know, Sean took their case in Ohio and defended them in their stalking case. You didn't see him going online and making crazy accusations or threatening people with lawsuits. No, he did his job. He went to court. He put their case on. They lost, but he did his job. And he's not out there defaming people, telling people that, he's going to sue them if they exercise their free speech. Yet this guy comes in and he thinks he can do that and have no one respond. We're not supposed to make fun of his nose. I can't wait to show Nick that I found somebody with a bigger nose than him. I can't wait. He's going to like that. But no, I mean, it's crazy. And the idea that we're not allowed, somehow we're doing something wrong by responding to this crazy behavior is outrageous. It's outrageous to me.
Yeah. My personal opinion is that they seem to have a business model of, here, we will make ourselves a nuisance, run up your lawyer bills and your legal fees and stuff like that. And if you settle with us and pay us, we will go away.
Right. And it's funny because that Dinesh Shaviran, I think his last name is, who is in a different case, but he has told the judge in that case that he believes that Luthman and company were hired to harass him by these people that either I think he's suing them or they're suing him. I don't know who's suing who in that case. I haven't even really looked into it. But there is an allegation that this same group of people have been harassing this other man in the same exact way. And I'm sorry, I just don't think that Luthman is very smart. This is going to catch up with him. He is going to be held accountable at some point because he's not going to stop. He's going to escalate, which of course he did. He has now doxed my house, my daughter's name, my full address, my husband's full name. That is classic intimidation with malicious intent. Yeah. He has no right to do what he's doing. And he just thinks he does. And I did notice that in his last case where he went to jail, he tried to argue that it was satire, which is the same thing he's trying to do here. And it did not work in that case. And it's not going to work in this one either. It's not.
Yeah. I'm involved somewhat in like the firearms rights communities, just as a hobby type thing. And one of the lawyers that goes over that has said, you may think you found like a cute little exemption to be able to do something that's, currently, whether it should be or not, is currently against the law. And your cute little thing is not going to impress the judge. Just be aware.
Right. Yeah, right. Now it's interesting because before the digital revenge porn laws were even in place, Luthman went to jail for doing it. This is what's interesting. So he had another one. He was making sexually explicit photos of a elected or a person running for office, like digitally created, and that was added to his charges. And he argued it was satirical, but the judge didn't buy it. The judge said, no, it isn't. It's harassment. It's intimidation. It's, this is not legal. Now there are laws. Now there are actual laws, and he's still making the same argument. It's incredible. It's incredible. Incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll find out.
Oh, since I mentioned farms and stuff like that, I don't know if I had ever mentioned to you, but I'm actually an elected constable in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah. I got elected. I figured you'd enjoy the story, but I got elected 9 years ago when I went to the ballot box and noticed that there was nobody running for constable in my local election. And I knew what the minimum requirements were, which for a constable is not all that much. Basically, you have to be on the polls or on election day or it's a misdemeanor. And I figured, yeah, I can do that. I know what the minimum is. Let's go ahead and do it.
Cool.
See what else I can do with that. So I wrote my name in and I won with 100% of the vote.
Nice.
I got reelected like 3 years ago. It's a 6-year term, and I got like 70% of the available votes from the entire electorate. So I think I did a pretty good job. As a matter of fact, the opposing party, it's not really a partisan position, but you have to run as a partisan.
Sure.
But the opposing party, when they realized I wasn't a member of their party and I wasn't on their primary, decided not to run anybody against me because I had done a good enough job that they weren't aware that I wasn't.
What are your responsibilities with that?
There's a lot of different things constables can do in Pennsylvania, but since it's an elected position, there is no salary or anything that you get paid unless it's like fee for service. And we've got like a fee bill for different things we can do for the state. There's some other stuff that is not directly reimbursed that we're allowed to do as well. Like I can get trained to direct traffic if I want to. And some school resource officers are trained as constables and they're able to like waive some of the other training that they would do. But the main stuff I've been doing is like civil and landlord-tenant service paperwork for the local magisterial courts, which are like small claims courts, but all landlord-tenant action has to originate there in Pennsylvania. So I also do evictions, and if there is like a judgment for a lawsuit and the person who's ordered to pay doesn't pay, I can do the equivalent of like a sheriff's sale as a constable sale. Levy property and auction it off to satisfy the debt. Fortunately, I've never actually had to go that far. Almost every time I've had to do one, they wind up writing me a check for the judgment. And I turn that over to the court. So
that's cool.
Yeah. But the other reason I was bringing it up is that once I'd gotten elected and I wanted to make sure that Mrs. Torn was okay with what I was going to be doing with that. And I'd read up more on what was required. I went over it, wanted to make sure she was okay with it. And admittedly, she works night shift normally, so our schedules don't always match. And she'd been up for like a day and a half at this point, and we're talking, and she's about ready to go to sleep. And at the end of it, I said, "And it comes with a badge." And she says, "What? Are you 5?" So.
Well, hey, every little boy wants a badge. Come on. At some point, if you can get one, that's really cool.
Yep. So as a constable, I have to pay for it myself. Our training used to be covered by like a $5 docket fee for everything we handled, but our training agency kind of like overspent, so they ran out of money. And now it's like once you get elected, you have to spend like $2,500 to go through the 120 hours of training to get certified to do this additional work. And there's no guarantee of work because it's up to a judge to decide to use you or not. And if they do use you, you have to, buy all your equipment and you'll get paid. Like most of the civil process, we get like $20, and for an eviction, it's like about $127. And that's with mileage added on to it. So it's not a great job, but it's a way for me to kind of like, repay the community for the benefits I've received through my life. And I figure if, if you're going to have somebody with this position, you ought to have somebody who's doing it because they think it's the right thing to do, not because they think it makes them powerful or anything like
Right.
that. And I view it as, if I meet somebody, it's probably one of the worst days they're having. And I try not to be any more of an asshole than I have to be to do the job.
That's nice. That you sound like the kind of person I want in those jobs.
Yeah, I try and be the type of person that should do it, not the type of person who wants to do it.
Who wants to do it. Yeah. And that's always the problem, right? With these public service jobs. I feel like a lot of people get involved in public service not because they want to serve the public, but because they want their name on a placard. They want the special parking place. They want to be able to lord something over their neighbor. I don't like that. And that's what, but then the rest of people who aren't like that, we don't want those jobs, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to go sit and have to go to board meetings every, once a month and sit there with and listen. Although I will say, well, actually, I won't say that because I was going to say, considering the scrutiny my family's under, I guess I can't say much about what my family does sometimes. So anyway, The point is, it's hard when most people who are decent, they don't want those jobs,
Yeah. And I try and not oversell my position. I tell people that as far as like the tiers of law enforcement in Pennsylvania, we're like barely law enforcement. So, even though we're able to, one of the other things constables can do, but my court does not do, is handle summary warrants for like people who haven't paid their speeding tickets and stuff like that. That have to be like brought into the court to like make a payment plan or something along those lines. So theoretically, another thing constables can do is we can do prisoner transports. Though in my county, they don't have constables do that because like 40 years ago, there was a constable that really ticked off all of the county officials and like got basically forced to never run as constable again. I'm trying to think what else. But the next county over, they run all of the prisoner transports for all of the different law enforcement agencies, and the county says they save them something on the order of $1 million a year over using like their own people for the amount of overtime they have to pay for it. So, there's a lot of stuff constables can do, but there's also, I got some of these that have unrolled enough that they're hitting the floor and they're not giving it the right tension. And I completely lost my train of thought on
constable. That's all right. You're doing things at the same time. You're doing multiple things at the same time. It's difficult to keep up. I'm actually shocked you can, aren't you counting too while you do this?
I've memorized this braid enough that I actually can kind of visually look at it, and I don't have to I only have to like stop and count for a second if I think I've lost my place, and I'm familiar enough with what's going on there.
It's so cool. I just love this design. It is very cool.
Yeah, I really like the fact that it has this like pivot point here where it can move more like leaves that are stitched together as opposed to just a straight braid.
Oh, it's just so cool. I love it.
And okay, yeah. Just making sure I am. I've got one more to do, and then I'll have this iteration of the pattern done. And I'm going to make a quick run. I'll be right back after that.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and like mute myself, but I'll leave my stuff up. Okay, and I did do that. Okay, all right. Just making sure where I'm at. But while I run away, I did want to mention that for the other one, if you can, when you've got time over the next however many months till I get back in the rotation, what type of elements you'd like in your braid. I was thinking like we'd probably do like a Lego block because you like doing the Lego stuff. Yeah. And maybe like a microphone.
That would be cool.
And but after this braid, I'm doing one for Aussie Overlord, then I'm doing one for Andrea Burkhart, and then you're next in the rotation unless I do like a timeout braid where it's like a pattern like this where it doesn't take me that long to do it. So,
Cool.
because sometimes I have to like clean my mental palette a little bit. So, all right, I'm going to quickly mute here and I will run back as fast as I can get up and down the stairs.
Okay, no worries. I'm a pro. I can handle it.
Okay. Well, you're definitely much more professional at this than I am, so.
Okay, I've just done my Legos backwards. I have to take them apart and do it again. I hate it when I do this. Sometimes I misread, I invert the directions in my head. Now, why is this like this? Okay, wait. It goes like, oh, I see. Like that. And then there's this that holds it together. Aha! I did it. All right, yes, I inverted this too. So that has to come apart. So what's up, chat? How you doing? Did everybody get to see the trucking stream last night? Because the trucking stream was fun. I finally got the wheel out and we trucked with Connor and Flux. And if right in the beginning, Tug popped in and pretended to be a pedestrian that got hit. That was so funny. He's such a mess. Slugs in Ohio. How's Ohio? O-H-I-O. There were no bison last night, but that doesn't mean they weren't there before, because they were. And if you go back and watch the tape, you'll find them. People trying to tell me there was no bison. I know what I saw. I saw what I saw. Let's see. All right, this goes on top of this like so. Look, we're getting there. We're getting that. We got the top of the microphone done. And then this goes on top. Wait, no, wait, hold on. I'm missing something. This goes here. And this goes here. This is so cute. God, I love it. And I need one on the other side, don't I? No, that just says 2. So there must be something else on the other side. Okay. This goes here. Oof. Why is it tilted? Oh, it's supposed to be like this? Yeah, like this. Okay, let's see if I can. Here we go. Okay, we got the microphone pretty much done. And now there's like this little thing on the side. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Did I forget to do one side? Oh God, this is so typical of me.
And
I did.
back.
I think I forgot something very important on my microphone.
Oops.
The backside doesn't look right. This can't be done. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's the Taj Mahal.
Yep. Yeah, I probably
That's
get
so
a better
cool.
view from here.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
This is also one of the micro ones. I'm currently working on the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's beautiful. I think I was supposed to do 2 of these, and I didn't do 2. Let me check.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to when like Super Tips is released in general, because apparently you have to have like 100 live viewers before you can get it on the current beta.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
I just asked them and they said yes, so I didn't know. I didn't see if there was a you know.
I did ask what the requirements were and whatnot, and they let me know that until they do it as a general release, that you have to have at least 100 live viewers for them to get you in on the beta, which I think you are well beyond that.
I believe we are, yep. But I'm pretty grateful for it. You know, sometimes I think, where did all these people come from? You know,
Yeah.
and it's good, and I love them. There are times, though, I will say that I think some of the old timers in the chat and me, we miss the old chat where we could talk so much. I could see everybody,
Yeah.
you know, and we could have more conversations in the chat. Although I'm getting pretty good at speed reading. I'm getting pretty good at keeping up with who's in the chat and what they're talking about. It is much easier when you have a co-host too, because when Tug's talking, I can read the chat, you know, and when I'm talking, he never looks at the chat. Never. I don't think he ever looks at the chat. I do. I've always got one eye on the chat. I miss some things sometimes, but I try not to, because I do like interacting with the chat. But it does get harder the faster it goes.
Yeah.
And then if you slow the chat down, it interrupts the algorithm too. So a lot of people will complain about slow it down. But if you slow it down, you get, the algorithm will kind of
Punish
ding
you for that. Yeah.
It punishes you for that. And I wish it didn't.
Yeah.
It seems to.
I had a bit of a gap start of last year, and YouTube decided, oh, your channel's dying. Let's not show it to anybody. And so I've been like really struggling for getting out there and growing the channel since then. But I'm hoping that I'm getting enough improvement that I've started growing again very slowly. But
this can't be right. I've done something wrong.
No, and
because
you've done this much of your braid since I started the stream.
Isn't it cool? And every time I look up to see where you're at, you're so much further along than you were the last time I looked, which is weird. It's like happening by magic.
Well, I've also been doing this for like 25 years, mostly on more than off. So the fact that I'm good at it has a lot to do with practice than necessarily innate talent. But I think the biggest thing I had to overcome for starting YouTube is, as what happens with a lot of people, when you like start hearing yourself being recorded, your voice sounds off to you. And I kept thinking that nobody's going to like to listen to me. And eventually, while I still haven't really totally incorporated it, I realized that there are indeed people who like to listen how I talk. And I just need to, it's not everybody, but it is a percentage of the people out there. So I just need to get myself in front of enough people to grow the channel. So.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I heard my voice on a tape recorder. So I had those tape recorders. You remember the old tape recorders?
Oh yeah.
And I used to really like to record myself doing, I don't know what I was doing. I don't remember. But it, like, telling stories or whatever. Podcasting before there was podcasting, I guess.
Yeah.
And I hated the sound of my voice. I absolutely hated it. And I think everybody goes through that. But it was maybe when I started working in radio and I was in studios, that changed for whatever reason. And I started to maybe just get used to it. But now it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Although it is funny when my voice shows up in Nick's Super Tips. That's funny. That happened to me earlier today. I always forget that my voice is in there. And then all of a sudden I hear myself reading Super Tips. Going, what the hell?
Yep. And just as a preemptive thing, if anybody ever does want to use my voice for whatever reason, I don't have a problem with it. I would be more than honored. Even if you make fun of me.
I told Nick, I said, I'm not a bitch baby. Use it. I don't care. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. And no one in their right mind is going to think it's real. Like, it doesn't sound real. It kind of sounds like me, but it's not me. So obviously, it's just for fun. And everybody needs to just calm the hell down.
Yeah. I think it also will probably help somewhat in the future, as far as people not automatically trusting what they hear because of the advances of generative AI. Because,
Right.
just because you have an audio of something doesn't necessarily mean they actually said, what's on there. And I think I heard Ian and Rob go over what's going to happen when a judge gets like an AI version of their voice entered into a court record. That's probably going to be when some of the laws start changing on that.
Well, hopefully, it won't get criminalized or whatever. I don't think it will. I think now, especially if you put you tell people it's satire and parody. These are not the people speaking. I say it every time, this is an AI generated voice for your entertainment, and it's your words, not anybody else's. And that should suffice. It shouldn't have to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
Now I am careful though. I read them first, like any super chat. If there's something that could get me in trouble with YouTube, or then I won't play it, or I won't read it. Period.
Yeah. Sometimes listening to Viva Barnes, when Viva starts reading chats and he's about halfway through it and realizes he needs to stop, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I listen to them a lot too. That's actually
Viva and Barnes. Yeah, they're great.
One of the first places I've met some of the creators I like when they've had them on for sidebars. Now, it looks like Slug sent another super chat. Let's see. Oops, that was Slug saying Megan hates the chat. Source, met her in person.
I do not hate the chat. I love the chat.
Yeah. Speaking of meeting in person, about 2 years ago, I got to meet Nick in person when he was in Philly. That was fun. I also got to meet Mrs. Rackett there too. So that made my week.
And Nick's been doing well. His Karen Reed coverage has been really fun to watch. Yep, I'm glad to see him back to streaming. So
yeah, I was waiting for that. I was one of the people that kept up my locals membership to make sure to help them out during the rough patches, because I've known people who've gone through similar things, and if you care for them, it's the support you can give that's not counterproductive is what really helps a lot of people recover and move forward.
Yeah, it definitely helps to have people in your corner who are saying you can do this and you can get better, and we want you to, and we want you to come back. I don't understand what the purpose is in wishing someone harm. I don't understand what the purpose is. And when, we're talking about someone who has a personal problem that doesn't affect you at all. It affects them. It affects their life. It affects their family. And so we should all be hoping for the best. And I feel like there's just a whole lot of people out there who want to see him completely and utterly destroyed. And I just don't know what more could be done. What more could happen to him? I keep seeing people on Twitter saying, he hasn't accepted accountability. Well, what do you call pleading guilty and taking a plea deal and being on probation? I mean, he's getting all the accountability that he could get for this crime. Yep. So, it is what it is. And it's strange to me to see people not satisfied with that.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I did have something where somebody who didn't like a friend of mine in a mutual group we're in decided that I was a convenient way to attack them by going after me. I do have to say that when all was said and done, it did not wind up well for them. They wound up leaving the group and not under the best of circumstances. So I look at that, at least, karma did have some effect, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I don't get the maliciousness. And I think anybody could end up in a situation that they didn't plan on being in and that they regret being in. And, well, you take the lumps when you get them and you move on. The fact that you got people rooting for him to be completely, not be able to go back to work or keep doing his show, like he shouldn't be on YouTube anymore, is crazy to me. It's like, what why?
I mean, that's how he makes his money. He's good at it, and
people enjoy it.
Yeah,
people enjoy it. So why in the world? And if you don't enjoy it, that's okay.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy it, don't watch it.
You don't have to be there. You don't have to be, I'm very happy that he's been blocking trolls from chat. That's something that needed to happen a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, he was always interested in letting people have their say, but at some point it just becomes harassment.
Yep.
Okay, so I put the flowers on upside down. What?
Oops.
Now I have to, why did I do that? Okay, so, all right, they go this way. I see. Okay. I'm almost finished with this.
Ooh, congrats.
I love these 3-in-1 builds because you can tear them down and build something else, and they're really fun. I have another one. Where is my other one? I think I tore it down already. I have one that's like a surfboard and then a parrot and then something else, and I have rebuilt those things 3-4 times just for the fun of it. I have another one that's a spring watering can that also becomes I forget the other things, but I mean, I love the 3-in-1s. I think they're a lot of fun.
Okay. I've mostly been doing the micro block sets because they're cheap enough, and my channel is like, I think I've got probably a ways to go before I become net cash flow positive on it, but at least I got monetized. And so far, YouTube has not been overly asshole with screwing things over, which I think was the first time I started interacting with you, was when you were on Jeff's channel and they messed over your monetization.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. YouTube, they took me down for bullying the month of June, apparently. I was unable to monetize because I bullied the entire month of June. No one could tell me what person I bullied, so I had to imagine it was the Pride Month stream videos I was making, which means I was flagged for harassing the month of June.
Yeah.
So, since then, I have been completely and totally in favor of Pride Month. I think we should have Pride Month every month because, YouTube says so, and YouTube doesn't like it if you say otherwise. So I have completely been re-educated. I have never said another thing against that particular month of the year. I'm looking forward to it this year. My God, we're going to celebrate Pride on my channel like you cannot believe. We're gonna. I have been completely turned around.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the stream where you were covering the CNN Trump thing in Butler, where I made the comment that, hey, we ought to start using the term stochastic terrorism for stuff like this because, hey, we've been educated. That's what that means.
Yes, that's what they said. That's what they say. They do claim that.
Yeah. The funny thing is that there's basically an online forum where somebody had been saying that for like 2 or 3 years before the last election. Anything that anybody said on the right, it's stochastic terrorism. And
right.
So after that, I started using it occasionally. And I don't really interact with the person that was doing it because my philosophy is if people aren't willing to be like, an honest member of a discussion, there's no point in interacting with them because they're not listening to you. They're just arguing. But it was funny watching them freak out over my just using that term for a very mild version of what they'd been doing for a couple of years.
I know, it's crazy, right? It's just nuts.
I need to start using a thicker leader string on these because I'm using kite string and it's a bit slippery. So when I get past the threaded portion, let's see. Yeah. Here it starts slipping and they unroll themselves.
It's always something, isn't it?
Yeah. But one of the things I definitely have tried to do with my chat is that I'll answer questions people have, even if it's something we've answered like, 50 or 100 times before, because they're a new person on and they're here to learn. So why not share?
True.
So.
This is a cute little flower petal. This is very cute.
Okay. Looks kind of like a repeller almost.
It does. I've never seen a flower done like that, though. This is a new one for me for Legos. Let's see. I'm supposed to make 2 of these. Okay.
Speaking of weird things for Legos, I noticed that on the bonsai, a lot of the flower petals or whatever were actually frogs.
Yeah, they're all frogs. Yeah, almost all of them are. Aren't they cute?
Yep.
I loved that part of it, that you can use these little pink frogs to be blossoms.
Yep.
Very cool. I
One of
do
the
like the way Lego reuses certain things, the way they reuse pieces to be something or another. It's cool.
Yep.
I do appreciate Lego engineers. They have a really cool job and they're very creative, and I love seeing what they come up with.
Yeah. One of the reasons I wound up going with the black pearl one is because it didn't have any of those horrible green leaf ones, the ones that branch out so much. Because I hate doing those, because the designs they show you where you're supposed to put them together never look right once you're done. They keep falling apart. I even started resorting to use super glue on all of them, and it was still a pain in the butt.
They do tend to fall off. I don't. That's true. But I do like the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to make them attach better, because their attachment is kind of tenuous. That's true.
Also, I'm doing the micro ones, which are even worse than the full size ones.
So micro, I don't think I've ever seen a micro. I don't think I've ever seen them. Are they less expensive?
Yeah, the black pearl I'm doing is like it was like $35 to get the set.
No way. I have to look at this. Let's see.
And it's a 4,000 piece set. If you look at the description for my previous stream, I've got an Amazon link where you can like click on it and see.
Oh yeah, sure enough. Are they so tiny though? Do you have to use like tweezers to put them together?
Let's see. Let me show you a hand for scale here.
Oh, they're so small. How do you do it?
I have fairly dexterous fingers.
I think that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, but I figure if I'm going to do this type of stuff, it lets me do it at a price point I can afford to do it at without hurting my budget. And you do build up a little bit of calluses for like pushing them in, but the Lego wrenches, they have slightly different style Lego wrenches than the standard ones, but they work for the really small pieces, so you don't hurt your fingers so much.
Are they Lego brand or are they a different brand?
I don't know entirely. It's not Lego brand. There's like 4 or 5 different ones, but their pieces are all like interchangeable on size. And I think it's some sort of thing where, because it's not the standard Lego size, it doesn't fall under their patent or something along those lines.
I've heard about this and I've seen the reviews. I almost bought one, but so many people in the reviews said that the instructions were frustrating that I was like, oh, I don't want to, I'm already frustrated enough.
Yeah, almost knocked some stuff on the floor here. Like that. Let me show you the instruction book here so you get an idea. This is one of the better ones. So some of them I have to like use my cell phone camera to like blow it up so I can see where what is. It's not like the standard Lego ones, but if you're used to building, it's actually not that bad. And they do the same thing where if you have like special assemblies, they're marked off.
Give you this step by step. Yeah.
So it's pretty close, but I mean, like, these are all like micro sets, or sorry, these are mini plus blocks and these are mini. And I think, let's see. Yeah, this is just mini blocks. So it's a little out of focus here, but.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen those on Amazon. I almost bought one. I like the ones that look like falling water.
Mm-hmm. Those are a little hard to do. I've done a couple of those.
Yeah, that's what the reviews said. The reviews said they're very difficult.
Actually, I've got some free blocks here so I can give you a better size. All right, this is a 2x10 grid block. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So relative size there.
Wow. Those are small.
Yep. But I enjoy doing them.
Well, I was just complaining that the scale of the miniature Diagon Alley was too small for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like cleaning my reading glasses, like, why can't I see?
Let's see what I'm at here. Okay, I know where I'm at. All right. It's one of those where it's like, okay, count the strings, which is better than in Star Trek counting the lights. So, I don't think I ever actually watched that particular episode, but they have so many memes of it online that it's hard to ignore it.
All right, so these flowers go here and here. These are super cute. I don't know why I would have flowers next to my microphone, but okay. This is what we have.
It's looking really nice.
It's done. Yeah.
Woohoo!
I finished it. See? Little microphone, little flower set. Nice. Boy, there's a lot of extra pieces because we have the other builds. Duh.
Yep.
So I need to find myself a plastic bag.
I find Ziploc bags are very helpful for sorting.
Yes, I use Ziploc bags too. I like to use these little trays. I use these little lunch trays.
Yep,
to keep extra pieces, and also so I can see that. Yeah, so I can sometimes see them better. I use these.
Yep, that's very helpful. I've started doing that, or like a box when I need to sort out the small ones. Also, to make it easier on the stream, some of the things I've been doing is I will go through and sort by color and size, and stack all the same together. So when I need to get them, I can just grab the big chunk of them and pull off the ones I need. I don't know how well.
You should see my what was I going to say? My sorting.
Mm-hmm.
We have Lego boxes. We have so many Legos. It's crazy. I had posted a picture of it once when I was doing sorting. And it's insane. It takes up my entire dining room table plus the bench. And then there's also bins on the floor. My husband when we're done with a Lego project, he wants us to break it all down and sort it into the bins.
Okay.
But I can't do that. I have to sort them back into bags with the books for that project. And that annoys him because he's like, but there's all these pieces. We could use these pieces for other projects. And I'm like, yeah, but he's like, you can still build those. I'm like, yeah, but it would take me forever to pull the pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that.
It's a constant fight.
One of the things I wind up doing with my Lego builds, and I finally told Mrs. Thorne about it, is if I have like an open spot in any of them that gets completely covered up, I go ahead and write a love note to Mrs. Thorne and put it in there.
That's cute.
Like I say, they're all built with love.
I will store my extra pieces in here for now until I get a bag.
Oh, and before I forget, I do. I know I don't have to, but I do feel I owe you a bit of an apology.
For what?
I did a braid for Kurt, but I didn't. I got it finished before he read your note to the court, and I have to say that if he had done that before I finished, I would have just pulled it off. I find that entirely unacceptable. The main reason, even after he started his coverage of Nick, I did finish it because I felt I owed it to like Rob and Ian, who have been more than great friends to me, and he's a friend of theirs. But I just really did not like that coverage.
You should have put a micro peen on the braid, and then everything would have been fine.
Yeah, but what one of my personal limitations on doing braids is I have to do it for people I respect, because I can't like just make something and then give it to someone I don't respect. I can't go through the process. It doesn't, my brain doesn't let me do that. So his braid took a lot longer than I normally would have taken on a braid.
Well, I have to thank Kurt, really, because without Kurt, we would never have had this trading card, which is the funniest trading card ever.
Okay.
It's AutoZone or Auto
Yeah.
Parts, Where to Meet Single Ladies. This one was very funny. We have Kurt to thank for his epic meltdown over that suggestion.
Yeah, I caught that one live.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. You know, I've tried to make friends with Kurt many times. I tried. I had enjoyed his coverage of certain things. And actually, what's funny is that even after he did the thing where he screamed at me about the dating issue, it was about a year later, I was covering the Kowalski case, and so was he. And I had been watching his coverage, and I was enjoying it, except I didn't think he was right. He was pretty certain that it was not malpractice, and I was pretty certain that it was. But when Nick had me on the show, he asked me, do you want me to invite anybody else who's doing coverage? And I said, well, Rob has been doing coverage. I like Rob, and so has Kurt. And Nick goes, are you sure you want me to ask him to come on? And I was like, yeah, it's been a year. Like, what is he really still mad about a thing that wasn't even directed at him in the first place? You telling me he didn't get over it yet? So he had Jeff on, and me and Kurt and Rob, and Kurt lost his shit again over nothing. It was insane. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I'm the one who asked to have him on. I said, I've been enjoying his coverage, so he's covering it, have him on. But yeah, he was still mad over some joking around that I did with Camelot that had nothing to do with him a year before. So the guy needs help. What can I say? Yeah. He's got a problem.
Yeah. And I managed to get something out of order here, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of unbraiding.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Fortunately, I'm used to doing this, and once you get a good understanding of the braid structure, it works out pretty well. So.
Oh boy, Dead Punk is making more artwork. Is it funny? You guys will have to tune in to Tug, and he'll show it to you probably. Dead Punk has been doing more artwork, and it's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, I think I'm going to get going. I have to help my kids out with some stuff I promised to do with them this afternoon.
Okay.
But thank you. It's been really fun watching how you do this. It's really quite something. And
sorry about the autofocus.
It's good. Okay. It's fine. I love watching this. This is really cool. And thanks for doing it for me. I sure appreciate it. I think it's really, and for making me the camera boom too. I appreciate that. I just have to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, feel free to, if you need to cut portions off of that. One of the things I figure I can do is, like I said, I'll make a shorter one out of like 1/8 1/4 inch PVC. That will be a whole lot lighter, so it won't overload the tripod. And I can do it in like where you can add sections as needed to make it longer or shorter.
I wouldn't maybe hold off on that just yet, because I'm moving my office to a much bigger space. So it might work. I just have to get a different tripod. The tripod I'm using is it's too flimsy. Okay. So I just need to get a stronger one. And if I have a stronger one, it should work. And I just don't know yet in the new space where it would go, but it will definitely come in handy. I just have to figure out what the orientation of the whole studio is going to be. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know after. It's going to be a couple months. Our garage was just built, and so my husband's office is being moved into the garage, and then I'm going to go in the basement where his office is. So once we do that, I'll have a better idea of what will work. But
Okay.
thank you so much for having me and for
yeah.
working on this. I really am going to enjoy hanging this in the studio for sure.
Yep. I will. I'm gonna fix what I just messed up here. Once I get that done, I don't think I'll get it finished today, but I'll definitely get it finished tomorrow, and I'll get it in the mail probably before the end of the month. So you should have it early in June.
Well, thank you so much.
Yep. It's like I said, I like doing these for people I respect. I really respect your journalism. I enjoy your shows with you and Tug. I'm actually wanting to do one for Tug too, but I can't figure out how to do the red and the black. I mean, the red and the white in the pattern that it needs without actually clashing between each of the iterations. And I'll have to think about that. But
oh, that would be cool. I'm trying to think of it how that would be done too. It would be really cool.
Yeah, because it's like the back side is a color negative of the front side. Because what it is, I'm doing 2 parallel braids, and I get the design by swapping between the upper and lower braids for individual threads. So
cool.
But I'll have to think about that. But like I said, my current rotation is Aussie Overlord, Andrea Burkhart, and then back again to you. So
cool. Well, I appreciate all the time and hard work you put into it.
Yeah. Well, this is fun for me, and it gives me a chance to interact with other people on YouTube. So it's a win all around, I like to think.
Well, it's been a lot of fun getting to know you some. So it's I'll talk to you again soon.
All right. You have a good one. It's good to have
you
on.
Bye, chat.
Let me go ahead, and before I finish up here, I'm going to read through all the chats if I can. All right. Let's see. Ooh, we got a lot here. Okay. All right. And let's see. Melee, hey Megan. Gwen, hello Megan. Gwen, it's an awesome design. Looks like little foxtails. I can see that. Torn is a constable too, but Gwen, yep, we did get to that. And equality, hello everyone. And yay, Megan's here. Reading equality. And still there. I'm not going to necessarily read all these, but I'll bring them up. Equality, ooh, that sounds cool. Melee, oh my God, Lego Tug is awesome. Yep, he was. And Melee, unmedicated streamers, yep. Gwen, please hit the like button. Thank you for that, Gwen. And equality, it's frustrating, especially Bev. Oh, yes, indeed. Equality, Bev lets Hanky get away with too much. Gwen, it's frustrating, not as bad as YSL, but pretty bad. And Gwen says, I think all the lawyers I follow on YouTube agree charges against Karen Reach have never been brought. Yep. Equality, Gwen, I didn't watch YSL too closely, but Glanville seems pretty bad. Yep. Been there, done that. Hey, good to have you on here. Been there, done that. Howdy, everyone. Equality, been there, done that. Hey, good to see you. More greetings, Ben. And Gwen, too. And Slug Entertainment. Chat, please do understand that Megan Fox is legitimately so short in person. She legit needs step stool again to cars. It's a good thing you guys get along. Mary says, hey, Slug. And it was Slug's first super chat. And Gwen says, I resemble that remark. I bet I'm shorter than Megan Fox. And Gwen says, please hit the like button again. And Donna Patterson, no, I'm shorter than Megan Fox. Hey, Donna, welcome to the stream. Melee, I'm 5'2". Gwen, I'm just under 4'11". Slug Entertainment, breaking news, Megan lost a piece of the Lego set. I got her, not shocking. She's very short. Melee, you almost gave up, Megan. And Slug, short and old. Megan, turns out I put the piece in the wrong place. Slug Entertainment, Boomer, didn't you, Megan? Melee, not surprised. And they're done it. Love the braids. I want to make a setup and try it out. Hey, you're more than welcome. Please feel free once I catch up. Ask any questions you got. I'll do what I can to help. Melee, just because of his macaroni. Gwen, this one's really cool. Each leaf tail pivots. I think that's the right word, like they're hinged. And Melee, if you want to help to guide you, I'm sure Tron will be happy to help you. Been there, done that. Hey, there's Melee proving me right. Or there's me proving Melee right. Sorry. Gwen says, yes, Torrance really likes to help people learn more about braiding. Gwen says, Mrs. Torrance is totally awesome. Gwen, they try to escape. Been there, done that would be cool. Melee looks relaxing. I find it very meditative. Melee Cormier, a fox. I think we can go with foxtails instead of leaves for this one. The colors are right. Gwen says a can of hairspray. Ben says we love Megan. Slug Boomer. Melee, you can't handle me. You can't handle. Yeah, you can't handle me, Megan. Okay. Slug Entertainment in Ohio right now. And Melee says there were no bisons. Equality, I was there for a little bit. It was nice. Slug Entertainment, the roads fucking suck. Melee, I was surprised you didn't end up upside down. Been there, done that. I'm in Utah right now. Slug Entertainment, I'm in Columbus for the night. Ask Jeremy if there's anything interesting, if there is any interesting things here. Equality, very pretty. Melee says from the Vice Squad. And Slug Entertainment, you hate the chat, Megan. Been there, done that. My Muppet is of Jeff. And Rick Cardigan, more yoga, sorry. Melee says, Ben. And Gwen says, I just had my neighbor come to my door. Amazon delivered package to my door. It's not anywhere to be found. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Been there, done that. Heart from Koala. And Slug Entertainment, read that one already. And Slug Entertainment, Rick Cartagena, that wasn't Amazon, it was USPS. Sundays are Amazon Day for the USPS. Inequality, Gwen, oh no. Rick, I'm betting USPS GPS put her address at your residence and overlay, if you will. Happens all the time. Tell her to look harder inside her mailbox. Gwen says she's looking. Equality, many judges are older, so it's interesting. Rick, likely the inside mailbox of a foldable envelope or small box. Gwen says, please like and subscribe. To Megan's channel with the link there. Thank you for that, Gwen. And Equality, Megan's chat is always hilarious. Gwen, it's a bigger box. It wouldn't fit inside our mailboxes. Rick says, good luck. And Equality, Gwen, do you guys have animals that may take it or porch pirates? Gwen says, no animals I can think of. Porch pirates is possible. I advise her to contact Amazon ASAP. Rick says, if large, look in the garage area. USPS Sunday drivers are not your regularly carriers, so they drop at odd spots, especially if the garage, if oversized. Gwen says, no garage here for our townhouses. Rick, any alleyway car access? If so, look there. Melee says his chat was something. Gwen says, thank you for suggestions. You all are great. Rick says, happens in my rental townhouses in Texas a great deal. And yes, worthless porch pirates. And Rick says as well. And been there, done that. Rainbows. And Equality. Gwen, I recently received a package without my order in it. The side was ripped probably by accident. The stuff fell off. I contacted Amazon, got a refund right away. Slug Entertainment. I wonder when Megan will finally admit she voted for Kamala Harris. Equality looks like ninja stars. Gwen, Equality, they just came back, still can't find it. Torrance is currently working on the micro block of the Black Pearl. And Melee says, looks great, Megan. Gwen, you got to have flowers. And little treasure notes. Melee, he was still mad. Melee, and you were respectful, and he started going off, I remember. And Gwen says, thanks for visiting, Megan. Indeed. And Melee says, thanks, Megan, for coming. Phrasing. Been there, done that. Thank you, Megan. Equality. Thank you, Megan. Melee. Bye, Megan. Been there, done that. Is there a guide on how to build the setup? There are, let's see, what's the best way? There are a bunch of different stands. There's a round disc that that's usually foam that has notches. That's a good place to start. And there's a wood disc that's larger, has a hole in the center, and you use the same weights as I've got on here. That's called a Maradai. This is a Takadai. Let me see if I can stand up to do this. Give you a better view of stand. Those are harder to get. It's one of the things I'm trying to make as a business, is making these for people. And there are other stands as well. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. So I would actually recommend starting out. You can get on Amazon the round foam discs for like $10 to $15. Get some skeins of like DMC floss and like little fishing weights to tie on the ends. That's a good way to start out, see if you like it, and then we can go from there. Equality, I'm excited. Been there, done that. Is interested in Kumihimo. Yay. All right. Let's see if I can't fix this. All right. So Okay. And all right, so one. So this one also needs to go back. Okay. Okay. This one needs a reroll. And since I'm not having anybody else come in, I'm going to take off these headphones because they muffle everything if nobody's talking. And I like hearing the clacking. Okay, so this is a reroll I'm doing here. Okay, so that one goes there. And okay. So all right. And okay, so these need to go back as well to make sure that I'm starting on the right spot. Okay, these are on top. Okay. All right. And this is right, so we got 4 and 4 on this side. We should have 3 and 3 on this side. All right, I think we are back to where we were. All righty. And been there, done that says I'll give it the college try. Foam disc ordered. Congrats on that. I hope it works well. If you have any questions, catch me on a stream or leave a comment on one of the videos, and I'll do what I can to help you if you have any questions with that. I probably should do like a starter foam disc one, but they're usually fairly quick to pick up, but not always that easy. All right, so under and up and straight through down to the bottom and under the color change up to the top and straight through. I think I did pretty good for only getting a mistake at the very end. And under the color change. There we go. And straight through and to the bottom. It also helps that anything that might have gotten slightly twisted will be hidden underneath, so I don't have to worry as critical about it because it's not going to make any difference in how it looks or acts. And all right, so under the color change, up to the top, and straight through, and top to the bottom. And under the color change, and up to the top, and straight through, and to the bottom. All right, left side, under the color change, but since this is the last of these, I can just leave it here and take the top and down to the bottom. And under the color change, up to the top. And I didn't need to do that. I could just have left it there. All right, there we go. All right, now on the left side from the out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. And we stay on the bottom now. And from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the top. We don't go under anything on the bottom because we are not connecting the edges. All right. So we got 6 moves. I'm going to move these forward so I can get an accurate count because this is the one spot that I can't just tell from looking at it where I am in the pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it'll go to the last one. Actually, I'll do a coma slide, which is where I slide the box forward. Normally, you guys can see this, but I figured Megan would like to, see my face, and it's our first time chatting together in person. As you can tell, we've had some online interactions outside of live streams. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'll go ahead and finish this. Oops, it stays down there. I think I will finish this iteration of the pattern and call it a day, and then I'll plan tomorrow to finish this off. But I got 2 hours done on this. I'm rather happy with it. I'm really happy with everybody who came by and visited us when Megan was here. If you have any questions about the channel or anything like that, and you're not a regular here, please feel free and ask. It's one of the things I enjoy about the channel is being able to answer people's questions and get them started on things that they like to do or want to learn how to do. So, and I seem to have a bit of knowledge on some fields. All right. sounds like Mrs. Torn is home. Let me catch up here. All right. Been there, done that. I used to. Light went iffy. I'm guessing. Let's see. There we go. I used to do friendship bracelets that look similar, but this is a lot cooler. Respecting Japanese tradition makes it more interesting to me. Thank you. That's very nice. And I agree with you there about making it interesting. And Mia says it makes me want to make myself a guitar strap. Equality, been there, done that. Oh, I'm Japanese. That makes me happy. And been there, done that. Oh, really? Equality? That's awesome. I'm excited to learn. And Gwen says there are many videos to watch here. And Gwen does a link to the channel. And Gwen says, hello, Mrs. Torn. And been there, done that. Says thanks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do that by fill and not have to count, as you guys have noticed, but I usually do the counting because otherwise the stream gets a little quiet. And I want to keep it interesting for you folks as well, and the counting helps provide context to what I'm doing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. And on the top, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 3 there. And we take the top, pass it through, stay on the top. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one might need a little bit of unroll. Should be okay for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the top. Okay, one of the knots caught on a pin, but it's fine now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. I think I've got maybe 2 or 3 more leaves, maybe 4 leaves before I want to finish it, or tails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. Yeah, I think for Megan's, we're going to call these foxtails instead of leaves. That fits with her theme a lot better. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the top. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. So, folks, honestly, how well did I do with having Megan on here? Did I do a decent job? Did I embarrass myself? Was I acceptable? I've had a little bit more stage fright related to this one than I've had on some of the other streams that I've been on with people, but I really enjoyed today. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. There we go. Well, looks like we peaked out at about almost 30 people watching live, so I'm about a third of the way to get onto the Super Tips beta if I ever get there. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. If I ever do hit over 100, I'll have to do a screenshot of my YouTube studio. I do want to thank Slug for the super chats, even though he was a bit mean to Megan, but they get along well from what I understand, so I wasn't too worried about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. And I know my chat is nowhere near as mean as Nick. And Megan has survived that. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I don't want her to feel like she has to survive the stream with me. Oops. I just realized. Nope, that one, I can do it that way. I'm at the end of the pattern. And there's a slight change from what I've been doing, which I haven't been going under the last one on the bottom, but now I do for this last one here because we're starting to stitch the edges of the tails together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top, and under the last one on the bottom. And the braid looks good. Looks like they're supposed to. So I didn't do anything up. So we did from here to here today, 3 leaves. Pretty good, I think. Oh, yeah, definitely. Let me catch up the chats real quick here. And let's see, Gwen says you're welcome. Ben there, done that, said you did great. Thank you, Ben. Gwen says you did a great job. Thank you, Gwen. And Gwen says, could you show the side of the braid how it moves before you log off today? Yep. All right, so I am going to release the tension on here so it's not not having to push against the weights to get everything done. So let me, I think I'll stay here until I get it done. But as you can see, they individually pivot at the connection points. And they open up at the side here. So and I think we've got at least 3 feet here. That looks like a reasonable amount. That's about the amount Megan wanted. So let's see if I can go ahead and roll this back up at my strength level. Yeah, I am nowhere near what would be normal for someone my age and gender. All right, so there we go. I'm good to go for that. Let me go ahead and see if there's somewhere I can redirect you folks for a channel rate. All right, let's go edit, customization, and I made it. There was one channel I was subscribed to that had like 30 separate shows scheduled out. And it was just like way too hard to find stuff. Oh, they're still there. Let's see. Hey, I guess they're doing a trucking stream. Or is that still from last time? I think I'm on the wrong stream. Let me. No, that's the live one. Let me go ahead and refresh here. And customization. Redirect. Ah, there we go. Now that's fresh. All right, so I don't have anybody upcoming. I mean, I got some upcomings, but nobody that's live. I'll do Nick Starro just in case. If you guys haven't run across him, he has a great channel. All right, and Mary says, thank you for the stream. It was great. It was good to have you folks on here. I really appreciate it. It's the best stream I've had in a while, so. And Equality says, oh, I stepped out because my son was crying. I think he was just overtired. Well, I'm glad that it's nothing serious for that, and that hopefully he'll get a nap and feel better. And Equality, thanks, Torm. Thanks, chat. All right, we will catch you folks later. I'll have another stream tomorrow where I hopefully get this finished off, but it'll definitely be done before the end of the month because I promised Megan by then. So, all right, everybody, as always, stay safe and happy braiding.